representations. I mean, in the 80s, I grew up in an environment where technically the gollywog was still on television in advertising and dolls were everywhere, I mean, the brand figure. But somehow my mother managed to protect us from much of this visual violence. So these gestures, this gesture of making African dolls with her hands and making them in her own image, in our own image, were gestures filled with healing ointment for all those moments when we would approach the makeup counter or pick up a magazine and not see ourselves reflected back. These dolls were for herself, for us, for the world, and for other women that she was constantly trying to encourage to develop a healthy sense of self in the face of symbolic pressures from Barbie dolls, stereotypes and stigmatizations of blackness. Her gestures were and continue to be mother's milk, even now when I live away from London and away from home. Mother's milk for unease, for carelessness and unkindness. Milk stored for times when she is absent, like the Cuban women leaving their children to work in the US, being referenced in this photo work by Maria Magdalena Campos Pons. Milk for tomorrow, for loneliness, for the times when you look around and cannot see yourself clearly. Stigma, stigmata. 1, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. 2, marks corresponding to those left on Christ's body by the crucifixion, said to have been impressed by divine favor on the bodies of St. Francis of Assisi and others. 3, in medicine, a visible sign or characteristic of a disease. I want to spend a moment thinking about the marks and traces left by history. Traces embedded in our consciousness, in our inherited memories, in our emotions. There, latent, under the surface of the skin. So I want to begin by showing you an advert.
I need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural glow.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion containing unique berry extracts and UV protection to restore your natural glow and care for your skin.
Hello, here to pick up your sister?
Mommy!
Mommy? Wow, such beautiful glowing skin.
Reveal your natural glow with Natural Fairness Body Lotion from Nivea.
Okay, so this is a recent advert for Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion, which has been promoted in the non-Western market and particularly in Nigeria. In fact, this comes from the Nigerian YouTube channel. If you watch it on YouTube, you'll also find several beauty vloggers attesting to its pros and its cons. Some say that it doesn't bleach, but it does make your skin dry, and others think it's worth trying and it's very smoothing. You may have noticed in the advert how so what we are witnessing in this advert is in fact a slow erasure, a reduction of the African woman's body and identity to a beauty standard enabled by promises with a bottle of Nivea body lotion. Remember that the advert states that the product will restore the skin's natural glow, not enhance or maintain it. So I thought I would just kind of hack the product a little bit. The slim white plastic bottle containing white lotion promises much. Trust, care, a glow, restoration, a return to the natural order of things. And this natural state is fairness, an expression of the concept of whiteness that offers African women beauty and youth, and also potentially a husband, because you've got to glow like a bride, right? So just thinking about the slow and insidious ways in which these messages become part of our everyday, our private lives as we come out of the bath every day. The Colonial Archive has much to say on this matter, on this normative state of fair beauty, and ultimately on anti-blackness. But I don't want to upset everybody because it is a Saturday, so I'm just going to give you a few examples and then move on, hopefully. In 1757, the Enlightenment philosopher Edmund Burke would write that the colors of beautiful bodies must not be dusky or muddy, but clean and fair. This is on the left-hand side. And then he goes further to tell the story of a boy who was born blind with cataracts, was healed, and then he happened to see an African woman and he was, quote, struck with great horror at the sight. And Burke goes on in this text, which is called The Philosophical Inquiry into the Sublime and the Beautiful. He goes on to talk about the natural operation of blackness, which he describes as being unsettling and produces literal discomfort in the eyes. So the eyes have to be so contracted to look at dark things, to look at a dark night sky, and to look at black bodies that it produces discomfort. So this is Enlightenment philosophy, sort of legitimizing anti-blackness during the enslavement trade. A lot of energy was spent getting to the bottom of blackness, attempting to explain why Africans had dark skin. Was it some bile or juice underneath the skin? Was it climate? And so on. Here in this French anatomical text, the breast and thumb of an African woman have been dissected to explain the strange juice inherent in pigment.